The next case we're going to consider is what we call cogen. Now, that is not available in all states in the United States, and it varies. There's probably 7 or 8 states in the United States where cogen is not practical. I'm talking to you right now from Florida. Florida has a requirement that the electric company buy power back from you, but they don't have to pay you for it except once a year. They do what's called net metering, and at the end of the year, they square up with you. Well, if you have a monthly payment for a piece of equipment, that doesn't work out very well, okay? It would work out fine if you were paying cash for it, but if you were actually, like most of us, if you're going to buy a Sundancer system and you're going to make a monthly payment on it, you're going to be making your monthly payment, and then all of a sudden at the end of the year, you're going to get a big check from the power company. But most states, there's about 42 or 43 states where the power company has to square up with you at the end of every month. They look at what you used versus what you generated, and in the event that you generated more power than you used, they have to cut you a monthly check. In those states, cogen is very practical. That's, by the way, is the way it is all throughout Europe. Okay, they have to cut you a check. So if you have a system and you're generating more power than you're using, all right, and at the end of the month, you have generated more power back into the system, they have to pay you for that power. That's called a buyback rate. Now, the buyback rate is different in lots of different states. Some places, for example, make them buy the power back from you for the same amount of money that they charge you for it. All right. So if they're charging you, like California, for example, the electric rates there are about 16 cents a kilowatt hour. If the power company is charging you 16 cents an hour, then when you sell power back to them with a system like this, they have to pay 16 cents an hour for it. New York is like that. A lot of states are like that, okay? But there are a number of states where the buyback rate is not the same as the purchase rate, okay? So to actually do the economic analysis, you actually have to do it for a specific case, right? We're going to take a worst case situation, and that's a case where the power costs about 13 cents a kilowatt hour. Okay, and the buyback rate is about 75% of that. So the buyback rate is 9.6. So that's the buyback rate. Now, let's remember what I told you earlier. We said that a Sundancer system specifically set up for off-grid we thought was going to cost about $18,000. When you set up a system like a Sundancer system for cogen, it's going to cost more, and there's some reasons for that. When you're dealing with solar power for off-grid, you don't have to have an array capable of providing 200 amps if it's a 200 amp system, right? You actually have a much smaller solar array. The gasification system you're not going to use nearly as hard. You're going to put a whole lot less material through it, so it doesn't have to be anywhere near as tough, and it doesn't have to be anywhere near as robust. All right, so when you're dealing with a cogen system, we believe that a Sundancer in a cogen system will have a cost of $30,000. All right, now what's going to happen in a cogen system, okay, is it's going to generate 200 amps times 240 volts, which is 48 kilowatts, 24/30. 24 hours a day times 30 days a week. That is approximately 34,000 kilowatt hours. A Sundancer 48 kilowatt, 200 amp cogen system is going to produce approximately this amount of power per month. If you have a $325 electric bill, you're using around 2,500 kilowatt hours of power a month, right? That means you're selling over 30,000 kilowatt hours of power back to the power company each month. If you're getting 9.6 cents for it, guys, this is over or approximately $2,000 a month. A Sundancer system set up for cogen in a situation where you are getting a check, a monthly check from the power company, all right? That monthly check is going to be in excess of $2,000 per month, each month. $2,000, $24,000 a year. The system costs you $30,000. So if you paid cash for it, you're going to have recovered your money in less than 2 years. Less than 2 years. If you were to finance this, it's going to be your payment, because it's $30,000 as opposed to $18,000. So your payment's going to be higher. It's going to be close to $500. So you're clearing in that environment. You're clearing $1,500 a month. That's what you're clearing. Now, I think that is compelling economics. $1,500 a month is $18,000 a year. You can take a really fine vacation for that. There's a lot of things you can do for that, and it doesn't change your lifestyle at all. All right? You're using your home, you're using your grass clippings, you're using your trash, you're using your garbage, you're using these various things that's just waste now. You're in the sunlight that falls on your house. You're using it as a resource to provide clean energy onto the grid. All right, so that's doing a real service for the world. But at the same time, it's making your life better. Every single month in, month out, you have a positive cash flow. I don't know what you think about all of this, but I don't think that's going to be a very hard sell.